And good Monday morning from Scotty, Ray, and Candace. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Do you know what the big bad wolf said?
What?
What big hair you got.
I do have big hair today.
What's up with the big
hair? I curled
hair?
it with the curling iron so it looks different. But, yeah. I got that 90s hair.
There's nothing wrong with big hair. I mean, think about it. My favorite T-shirt has big hair on it.
Oh, really? Yeah, I like the big hair bands.
Fawcett. You remember the poster?
Oh, yeah. My brother had that poster.
And I've got it on a T-shirt now. I need to wear that one morning.
Yeah.
Because I love that shirt.
I bet everybody else would too.
If you were anywhere around my age as a kid, oh my gosh, you had to have that poster.
Did you have the Bo Derek one with the beads in her hair?
It didn't do as much. The beads really threw me off. Now, the rest of the picture was pretty good, but that part just threw me off big time.
Yeah.
And, looking back, because, every now and then I'll have to watch Charlie's Angels, the old version, to catch the swimsuit editions. But Jacqueline Smith was a really pretty lady.
She's still a pretty lady. She really is.
And she's 70?
I think so. She's maybe in her 70s, but she's still pretty.
I saw her on one of Angie Ray's Lifetime movies. And you know who else I saw this weekend on Lifetime?
Who?
Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. She was in another show.
Jane Seymour.
Yeah, and who's the guy that carried the hatchet and threw it around all the time on there with the long hippie hair? Her husband, whatever. He was in the show too.
I don't know, but she has one green eye and one brown eye, or one green eye and one blue eye. I always thought that was so neat.
I didn't know that.
She does. You need to look next time.
I know that Sarah Evans has a little scar on her right knee.
Oh, really?
And the reason I know that, I was on the front row at this thing years ago, and I was sitting right there looking at her knee, and I thought...
Yeah. Now, was she in Meridian?
I believe so. I saw a lot of posts on that.
We went out and ate, and I think when we came by the Riley Center, it had it on the marquee sign outside. She
is a very, very nice person. I like her a whole lot.
She seems like, I've seen her do interviews, and she seems like she'd be really down to earth. I love her music.
So what'd you get done this weekend? Anything big?
Well, we did go out and eat one night, but our refrigerator went out, so we're looking for a refrigerator. That's always great.
You getting double-doored, or you getting single?
And I don't know. It's really going to just come down to the price. I just don't pay a ton for a refrigerator because, I really don't care what it looks like.
Yeah, because you're just going there to get out of to eat. Are you getting stainless or white?
We have a stainless now, the one that went out, and I really don't even care. I'm just not.
So what color's your stove?
It's white.
So you should get white.
Probably so.
But I'm just saying.
But I don't have to be everything matchy.
Okay.
But anyway.
Easy going.
Anyway, I'm just ready to get a refrigerator because we have an extra one in our laundry room. But... and we both said it's just more convenient to have it in the kitchen, And I said, I'm getting so tired of walking to the laundry room to get the tea or get a water or whatever, which I know sounds lazy, but I said, well, maybe we need to put the pantry in the laundry room so we won't be snacking all the time.
Well, we're rednecks too. On our back porch, we've got an extra refrigerator that's for the outside. So I bet we're not the only ones that do that. Also,
we just put drinks and stuff in our one in the laundry and leftovers if you don't have it. Because I will tell you, I'm not getting another side-by-side refrigerator.
It ain't
you can't
happening.
fit anything in it. You can't even fit a pizza box. Like if you have leftover
skinny.
pizza.
Yeah, they're not.
So that's out of the question one right there.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, that's what we did, and I cleaned and just basic stuff,
Not too bad. Well, coming up, we got hurricanes to talk about. We're going to talk about weather next. Here with Scotty, Ray, and Candace. Stay close. Exit 151 off the interstate is where you'll find the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, and they got a lot of great deals as we get ready for this weekend of all the deals that are going to be coming up with the Second Amendment tax-free weekend that they're going to be passing along to you. So check that out. While supplies last, they got some chicks. They're available now at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Now, they'll be running out quick, so check on that. Also, if you're needing boots for these winter months that lay ahead, go buy from ladies to men. No matter what you need, they've got it when it comes to a great boot keeping your feet dry. Couldn't get that out, could I? As we get ready for deer season, so many attractants to get your deer in, to get you some pictures, scouting as we get ready for that, like the power station from Rack 1. Also, you can get deer cameras. They got a big supply of these. If you're needing some, yours aren't quite working like they used to, or you don't have any. Of course, when it comes to planting, all of your feed, seed, they have it for you, from wheat to ryegrass, all of that there, along with your fertilizer and taking care. Fish Day is coming up next month. Don't forget that at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply on September the 18th. Also, when you need to feed your cows and your horses, your pigs, whatever it is, they've got it from corn all the way up to horse and cattle feed. from guns. As we said, a tax-free weekend coming up this weekend at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply to save yourself some money on that. Exit 151 off the interstate is where you need to go to save all your money when it comes to taking care of that, and they certainly will. Well, this morning, the big news is what's going on with the hurricanes. We'll start out with what is forecasted here first, and then we'll go over to radar in just a moment. As we pull this up now, what are the possibility of storms today from Marco? Very little is going to be to the south from Brookhaven, Natchez, Hattiesburg. That area is going to have a chance of severe storms today, but not an area. There's only a 1 in their area as well. As we look at our next, the winds from Marco will not reach us. That same line from Hattiesburg to Brookhaven as we go across, flooding as well in the Hattiesburg area, and also the watches that are out there this morning. And, of course, it's tropical storms there on the coast. It's been downgraded. So that's a quick look. And the rain, Florida still getting a lot of rain. They're swaying way off to the east. It was expected to be here, but Florida getting the most of that. So they're going to have a wet week. I know Angie went down to spend a week on the beach, and it is dumping buckets of rain on her. Well, as we go back to weather this morning, big questions about what's going on with this. Let's start out and talk about Marco. Of course, your forecast being brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. As we go to look at this, Marco is now just a tropical storm. Sitting here, wind speed at 58 miles an hour, gust at 69 as it comes across, and it's coming in here in Louisiana. It will make its turn, and then below Houma, and then along the coast there, and then just make its way toward the Texas coast there. It's skirting right along there. It just brushes and then goes in on over here by Houston later on in the week. Let's see, and it'll be reaching Houston there by Wednesday. But it's going to stay below a tropical storm is what she will be. No big deal on that. Here's what we got to watch as Laura gets ready to come in. Now, this has moved so many times. It puts East Mississippi and West Central Alabama in the watch box. It takes it out and puts it back in. We will not know until it really gets closer. This morning, it's a little bit west of our area, but by noon, it could be back in our area. So check back often. I'll keep that updated. Definitely going to be a 2 when she comes ashore. There is talk about it could gain more strength. It depends upon what happens after it gets right past here on Tuesday morning. She's sitting down here. The Cayman Islands. She's already claimed 11 lives in Haiti and the Dominican Republic. So this is a very serious storm. It's going to come ashore but due south of Lake Charles. If you'll look at this, she'll come in at Lake Charles, come up by Sulphur. Orange is over here, but skirting right through Lake Charles, due north and carrying up. And then it's going to get to Shreveport, and that's when it'll start making its turn through Little Rock and Jonesboro, Arkansas. Well, let's go over and look at what it has forecasted for Mississippi. This is the line here that's going to be getting rain and wind and things from it. Jackson, Mississippi right now being the line there at Brandon. Now, it was over here last night. It's moved over. Again, don't count on this to remain because this storm just kind of twists and turns. It'll go up, and then it's going to take a big hook and go just north up by Columbus and then back toward Alabama, Huntsville, all of these areas. So we're going to watch it very closely now. That is a serious storm that is coming. It's a 2. It is a possibility that it could gain a little bit more and possibly come in as a 3, but a Category 2 at this point. So that's where we are on that. As we back out and we look at this, and let's just take a look at our regular forecast. Let's turn that off to where you can see the map. We've got rain all here through Montgomery, Alabama. Look at the coast here in Florida. Just getting buckets of rain. It's going to do that most of the day here from Marco. And again, Marco holds no threat for us as we do this. As we look at our forecast of what's going on today, we have a 60% chance of thunderstorms, partly sunny from time to time, high of 85 tonight, 60% chance of rain, 70% chance of showers as we roll through tomorrow, high of 89. As we go to Tuesday, we have 70% chance of rain, Wednesday a 40 on Thursday, and then 60% chance of showers still in that forecast by Friday. So we got a lot of rain ahead of us as we head through this week. So we'll watch it closely, and we'll have more updates on this, and I'll come back and recap all of this here in just a moment to get you back up to date with the very latest when it comes to weather. All that's up and coming here in just a few moments with Scotty Ray's weather.
During these challenging times, there are some things that you can count on every day. One of them is that Rick Justice Automotive will work hard to help you find just the right vehicle. Rick Justice has late model, low mileage vehicles and 72-month, 72,000-mile warranties available on all vehicles. Come see us today, and we'll show you how we've been helping your friends and relatives find the car, truck, or SUV that was right for them. We will earn your business.
And we're back, and it's news story time of what's going on in and around the nation. And, of course, Mississippi's got a lot going on right now with the hurricane situation out there.
Yeah.
As we turn to our first news story, we are under a state of emergency for the Gulf.
I saw where he declared that, and it's kind of just a touch and go thing, I guess. Right now, we don't know exactly what's going to go take place or go down.
Yeah, now Marco, we're pretty sure is going to stay away from us. This other system that we're still we don't know about.
Yeah.
So that is good. And then also I saw last night that Louisiana has already been approved for disaster before it hits. President Trump went ahead and done that because it's without a doubt going to do some damage there.
They always. I think if I lived in New Orleans, I would just have to find another place to live because I hate bad weather.
And on top of that, isn't insurance extremely hard to get on the coastline now, or do they even insure people?
I don't even know, but I know New Orleans being under sea level, they always get flooding and stuff like that. So I'm not real sure. I know a lot of people have condos down at the beach and stuff like that.
The only time I've ever been through the French Quarter was in a cab. I went down there for something. I done a loop through there, and I didn't get out or anything.
Yeah, I went to New Orleans to a hair show years ago, and I don't know.
Wait a minute.
It's kind of depressing to me.
I just lied. We took the kids. Dylan was like 5 or 6 years old, and they got a zoo and all. And we went, and I promise you, I'll watch this. We were walking down there. You know where they sell the art in the park? This dude got stabbed in front of us, and I thought, it's a great time to go back to Mississippi.
Now, I do remember there was a statue, I thought was a statue. It was somebody that was painted, and they looked just like a statue, and it kind of freaked me out because, I looked one time, and they were sitting one way.
Yeah.
And then I turned around, and I turned back around, and he was posed in another thing. I was like,
That's like those things you see on YouTube where they grab you when you walk by, and they look like a statue.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny. As we move to our next story, it begins tonight. Last week, the Democrats had their one, and I see a misspelled word, and it's going to be all okay. Yeah. But the RNC begins tonight. You're going to have to start proofing this.
I know. I guess I am, Scotty Ray. I just don't know. Spelling was my thing back in school. So
I get in a hurry and just don't look.
Well, I do too.
That does begin tonight, and for the first time, and normally the candidate only shows up the last night to accept it. Trump is going to be a part of it every night.
I think that's going to be great, and I hope that it's uplifting convention. I hope that he's got a lot of
great stories instead of running things down.
That's right. Instead of running it down and making everything about, to me, it was just, and I'm not stating something that everybody did not see. I just don't see where they said a whole lot of what they were going to do. They put down Trump for what he did and how he did it, but they never said a thing about how they were going to make it better.
Yeah, you got to have a plan if you say you're going to.
Right. It was all about, to me, it was about racial issues, and it was about, how great Joe Biden was and stuff like that, which, I just hope that this convention is going to be uplifting and not putting people down.
Yeah, and that's what we need.
I
think I read somewhere it's going to have some patriotic stuff each night.
I think that'll be good.
So we'll see. We'll tell you tomorrow what we see out of all this.
Yeah.
On to our next news story. This stuff of being politically correct, where is the line? I do not think that this guy here meant anything by what he said. Cleveland, Ohio, a guy says that Camilla, however you want to say her name, Harris is the nation's first colored vice president candidate, and the radio station fired him. It's a news talk station.
Yeah, I really don't understand why that happened because through the whole Democratic convention, they kept referring to that.
Yeah. How
that was such a great thing that she was the first vice presidential candidate of color and a woman. So I don't know.
It
sounded like it was a little underlying.
Yeah, they may have wanted him for another reason, and that was a
Yeah.
great way to throw him out the door.
Yeah.
But that's what went on paper. As we look at our next one now, how many times have you sat back on television and watched all this stuff being burned in these other cities, and you think, why isn't somebody doing something?
That's exactly right.
Well, Tennessee, it looks like is.
And I think that's a great thing, and I think they need to do that everywhere. And that's another thing that was a disappointment to me watching the Democratic convention is that none of that was ever mentioned.
No, it was not brought up.
It was never mentioned. It was all about peaceful protesters and,
And we all know that there's chaos in the streets of America right now.
total chaos.
No.
And people getting hurt and killed
Yes.
and, dragged out of their vehicles.
The truck driver guy.
Yeah. There needs to be some kind of a, punishment for that.
As you read into this, it makes it harsher. The penalties on the protesters who illegally camp out on state property, you could get punishable up to 6 years in prison instead of a misdemeanor right now. Mm-hmm. Individuals found guilty of a felony in Tennessee will lose their right to vote. And then, as you can see, this goes on and on. $15,000 fine, 90 days in jail. So they're not taking it lightly. Mm-hmm. They're stepping up. But also, if you'll remember, there was a few laws passed a few years ago about monuments. Mm-hmm. That didn't stop anybody. They did what they wanted and nobody was punished. So will this follow suit?
Yeah, I hope that if they lay this law, if they really state that this is what they're going to do, that they're going to stick to it.
And then, you look at the big picture in America, like you take Chicago and all these places,
mm-hmm.
gun laws. If you would just enforce the laws that you already have,
mm-hmm.
it would really cut back on crime.
That's right. It just seems like that everybody, it seems like, is just giving in to people.
It is.
And if people would just draw that line, if you cross it, this is what's going to happen and make it happen instead of just giving in to everybody and giving them their way. That's what's wrong with this whole world right now.
If you think back and remember this, and this was a very poetic line. Mm-hmm. I was a big fan of Aaron Tippin. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the song he had called You've Got to Stand for Something or You'll Fall for Anything?
I just thought about that the other day. Yeah, I did.
It really stands true to what's going on in
You
America.
got to be your own man, not a puppet on a string. And that's
right.
exactly what they're playing these people as puppets.
Yep.
They are.
If you get a chance today, go back and listen to that and see if you agree with us on that. As we look at our next one, what in the world are they thinking? Sometimes you got to step up and also be a parent on all of this also.
Yeah. This kind of applies not to the rioting and stuff.
Right.
But I'm just going to go out on a limb and I'm just going to say what I think everybody's probably thinking. A lot of these young people nowadays seem, not all, but a lot of them think they're entitled.
Yes, they do.
They think that they don't have to work for this, they don't have to work for that. It's just given to them. And if they don't agree with something, I'm not going to do it. Well, guess what? You are going to have to go by rules. And all this emancipation stuff from parents because they don't agree. And,
boy. Now, this young lady here, if you're not familiar with who she is, Kelly Conway, of course, works for the president. This is her daughter. She stays on Twitter running down Trump, running down her mother. And, her mama still got to work for Trump. She's 15 years old. Mm-hmm. It's time for toe the line. Be a parent here. Mm-hmm. Take something away from them if you got to. Punish them.
That picture right there, that pretty little necklace she's got on, you think she bought that?
Nope.
No.
I bet she didn't pay for her phone either.
No, probably not. And she'd be like, I was saying a while back, like a friend of mine stripped everything from
Well,
she'd be cut off.
Remember the kid a few weeks ago where the parents gave everything they had away in the front yard?
Oh, yeah.
But she does come from, unlike a lot of kids, she does come from a family that has a lot. Mm-hmm. And they always seem, not all the time, but they do seem a lot of the times to be a little bit worse than the rest of the kids.
Well, it's all about how you raise your kids.
It is.
If you give them everything they want, they're never going to want for anything, and they're not going to appreciate it. So a lot of times, maybe not everybody, but statistics show that. This is what we're raising.
Boy, it's time for something to happen.
Exactly right.
As we look at our next one, what do you think about this? Now, the VMAs, and for those who don't know what this is, the Video Music Awards, and I think MTV does it every year. They're held in New York normally with tons of people. Well, this year, there won't be tons of people, but they're still doing it. Mm-hmm. Where it gets a little touchy is right now they've got an executive order. If you land in an airplane or drive there, you have to be quarantined for 2 weeks or face up to a $10,000 fine and days in jail. Mm-hmm. Well, they're waiving that now for all the stars to come be a part of this. So is that fair?
No, I don't think it's fair at all. I mean, the baseball games have to have, no fans in the stands.
Right.
And I just don't think, I think they just need to make one rule for everybody and stand by it. That's another thing, like what we're talking about.
Now, let me just throw this out there. There are plenty of small towns that don't have these kind of rules. If there's not going to be people in the crowd, why not just take this somewhere else and set it up? Who would know the difference?
Yeah.
I
don't really even watch it, so I'm just...
No, I saw a picture of, what's that, Billy Ray's daughter? What's her name?
Miley Cyrus.
Miley. And if you, a few years ago, saw her performance on there, it was filth. There's no other way to word it, just downright filth. Another child that needed to be whooped.
Yeah. Yeah, so these kids start out on the Disney Channel, and then the next thing you know, they're half-dressed, a fourth dressed. I shouldn't even say half-dressed a lot of times. But she's going to be one of the headline stars debuting something on it. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to lose any sleep of not seeing it. Me either.
Now, this one is shocking, y'all. Mm-hmm. Mr. Dwight has gotten married. He is 63 years old, and he's got a son on the way. Mm-hmm. His wife's 36. Imagine that. But this is Dwight's first marriage.
Oh, I did not know it was his first marriage.
Yeah, he's never been married before. He dated somebody pretty heavy a few years ago, and I tried my best to remember who that girl was, and I can't. Mm-hmm. But they broke up, and of course, he is so different. He started out back in '86, and he was playing country music in California to punk rock.
Oh, really?
Places, where they would play that. He would go in and do his country music there.
I just always, every time I see him now, I just think of the movie Sling Blade. I don't know why. I mean, I don't even think about his music. I just think about him drinking and being a drunk in Sling Blade. But anyway.
The guy that, Manuel, if you'll remember, the nudie suits, the guy that designed Elvis's gold lame suit. Me and Debbie interviewed him years ago, and he talked about he designed Dwight's Hillbilly Deluxe outfit and the tight jeans.
Oh, okay.
And he put all that together for the image of Dwight. And I think of that every time I look at Dwight. Yeah. And why they didn't cut his circulation off, I don't know. Because them suckers was tight, wasn't they?
Yeah, I mean, I remember he always wore those tight jeans. But look, I guess I can't, even though he's 63, if he's never been married, probably doesn't have any kids, I don't guess.
No, he doesn't.
So, you can't blame him, even though he is older,
I had a good friend of mine that I grew up with. His daddy was 65 when he was born. And
I was 40 when I had my last one, 40.
But his dad could never do much with him because he just physically couldn't.
Yeah. But that's sad in a way.
It is, but it is good that Dwight's getting to carry on his name now.
It is.
But boy, in that picture, he's aged a little bit. Just saying. Yeah. Not that I hadn't. And here's some sad news for you. And I don't know much about this group. Do you?
I don't know a whole lot. I know I listened to some of their music back, a long time ago. I listened to them. But it's sad that he's passed away.
Now, would that be, that's not Southern rock. It would be the
no,
pop stuff maybe?
I guess it's kind of like, rock, pop. I don't,
Because I honestly...
I just remember, it wasn't like, I always listened mainly to country.
Yeah, me too.
I was just a country music fan. But I know when we would go out or something, if somebody was playing something on a jukebox or something, if we were out or something, there was always...
Yeah, that was a problem with me as a kid. I didn't quite fit in with that other group because I was country.
Yeah, I was too. I wore my cowboy boots to high school.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
Most people, and I remember being, it's no big deal now, but I can remember 7th and 8th grade of wearing flannel shirts and always being picked on being called farm boy.
And look, now everybody wears flannel shirts.
Yeah, it's the rage. But, I turned out all right.
You did.
Some days I wonder about that, but...
Look, what is that song? I was country when country wasn't cool.
Barbara, and then of course George comes in at the end.
Yeah.
But listening to country, that's just as me. It does give you some values.
Yeah. It always tells a story.
It did.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
it's different nowadays. I would take classic country over the new versions any day.
There's one theme to a song. You got to have shorts on. She's got to be drinking a beer on a tailgate of a truck on a dirt road. That's all they know now.
Or beating up somebody's vehicle.
Yeah. But, you go back and I was flipping through some stuff of one of the greatest, and I hate to just get off and run on subjects, but the guy who really had it together, who knew what he was doing, was Conway.
Yeah.
He picked out who he was talking to. The reason I ran across, I Still See the Want To in Your Eye. Do you remember that song? It's about, he goes into a bar, and this woman, she's married. She's got a little wedding ring on, and he's coming on to her, and she goes, "No, I'm married." But he goes, I still see the walk to in your eye. He's saying to that housewife, and he hit a home run.
Yeah, I used to listen to him and Loretta Lynn and all them. I love, of course, Patsy Cline. That's my
good stuff.
Yeah, I loved old country.
So we'd like to thank you for spending a little bit of part of your day with us and listening to us ramble about this, that, and the other. It's been fun.
And we do ramble. I ramble the most, I think.
No, I'm pretty big rambling myself there, too. But coming up, we'll give you another look at this hurricane situation and what you need to do to plan ahead and be for sure what's going to be happening. That's up and coming. Next with Scotty, Ray, and Candace. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is where you can save on your groceries. We all got to have them, and what a nicer place to go, the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville. Drop in and see Joe. This week, they've got those ripe tomatoes, $1.59 for a 4-pack, along with those celery sticks. You can get those for $1.49 at the Pig. Also, take advantage of those blueberries. We've talked about some of those this week, $2.99 a pint. You can get the Piggly Wiggly Real Mayonnaise brand for $1.89. That's for a 30-ounce jar. Along with those pickles, those hamburger deal pickles, $1.79 from the Pig. Also, sugar you can pick up on the granulated 2-pound bag for $1.29. As it comes to those cheese puffs, curls, you got to have something to snack on while you're watching the hurricane stuff. Well, that's $1 for the 6.5-ounce bag. You can also get those drumsticks or thighs, the family pack for 79 cents a pound, along with the ribeye steaks, $11.99 a pound. Wow, that's great. Tastes great on a grill, too. You can take advantage of the sliced bacon, the Mariah, the 24-ounce package for $5.99. That's just a few of the deals that you can get at Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, along with milk, bread, anything that you might need when it comes to it. With a friendly smile, it's always there at the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville. Drop in and see my friend Joe. He'll certainly take care of you. As we go back and we recap our forecast this morning, again, there's lots going on with the hurricane as we watch. Our biggest threat is going to be Laura. Again, that's where our concern lies as we look at all of this. This is the rain that we've got going on today. All of this going down in Florida. In our immediate area, we have a 60% chance of rain today, partly sunny otherwise, a high of 85. Continued rain tomorrow with a 70%. 40% chance on Wednesday. Let's go ahead and just pull up the extended forecast for the next several days here. And let's look at Meridian and pull this up as we get this. 40% Wednesday, 50 Thursday, into the weekend, a 60%, and still holding steady with the 50% come Sunday. So rain is without a doubt in our forecast. And as we flip this back on again, just to give you a quick look at what's going on with the hurricanes. Again, right now, this has this projected path just to the west of the Meridian area. Don't hold your breath on that because this storm keeps going a little east. It'll go a little west. So it'll be back and forth down here, and probably we'll be back in that bullseye again before it's all over. But if you have friends, neighbors in the Lake Charles, Beaumont area, anywhere to Lafayette in those areas, give them a heads up. Make sure that they're aware of what's coming because it's a 2 at this point when it comes ashore, and a chance that this thing could grow into something a little bit bigger than a 2. It's going to be strong. It's killed 11 people so far. If you have a generator, go ahead and get that gassed up. Make sure that it runs properly. It doesn't hurt to have a little bit of extra supplies that you'll need. Get your first aid kits and things of that nature. Anything that you might need that if power were to be lost. And of course, we'll be here to tell you all about that along with the MEPA and all the others that take care of you when these storms come about because they can be rough. And we all know 15 years ago what went on. So we're going to watch it closely and be on top of that for you. Another thing that's going on, if you hadn't had a chance to go by lately to Freeman Tractor out on Highway 494 in Sycamore and see them, gosh, they'll take care of you. They, Keith and Steve, bend over backwards to earn your business there unless they have to get up now. They've got the LS tractor that they could really save you money and be ready for deer season. And the great thing about an LS tractor, you could use these buckets for the four-wheel drive is what you want to get because I've owned a few tractors here and there. Go ahead and get you a four-wheel drive to where it has more pull, pick up things, and use it daily around the house. They're great. Also, a great line of lawnmowers. If you're talking Skag, if you're talking Exmark, great brands. They got plenty to choose from there. along with implements for your tractors. If you're needing a bat wing, you got a lot that you bush hog each day, they'll help you there with that, along with 5 foot, 6 foot, if you're needing a disc, a blade, whatever it is that you may need, they have it in those Tractor Supplies. When it comes to the new line of benches that they've got, and I've mentioned this before, 0% for 60 months. This is the largest that you can buy. Now, if you want to take that step up and you're tired of being cold during the winter, they can order this with air conditioning and heat. What a deal. See them 60%, 60 months for 0% interest there, and you'll have an electric dump bed, air conditioned heat, power steering, LED light bar across the top. It's got a little bit of everything. It comes with a 5,500-pound winch. That's on that one there. They'll order you one. Talk to them. They can show you all the brochures and get you going. That's that Warrior Max 1000, along with other styles to choose from, the 550, any color that you may be looking for. Look at these, from the white, the tan, the camouflage. It's all there at Freeman Tractor, right down from Cicalina. 626-8759 is the number to call them. You'll be glad that you did. You'll save a lot of money there. Again, be careful today. Our biggest threat from Marco is going to be to the south, the Hattiesburg area, not necessarily the Meridian, East Mississippi area right here where we are, but it'll be south, Hattiesburg, back over in that area there toward Natchez. Again, I want to thank our sponsors that help us out every day. Hooper's on 22nd Avenue, along with Rick Justice Automotive, Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, also EMEPA, Graphics Guru, SMI Automotive, San Marcos, Freeman Tractor, the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, great folks, and along with Kim's Photography. Again, and you're one of the biggest that I want to say thank you for watching this morning, spending part of your day. As always, I'll be back with more. Should the weather turn bad, I'll be here to give you street-by-street coverage as it happens with Scotty Ray's Weather.